stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, good morning. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. I'll check it out. Okay. Man, I'm a little chilly. Morning, Michelle. Good to see you. I probably don't need to tell you guys I'm still sick. So I'm at the point where I'm just tired of being sick. So let me grab some tissue. I don't like to blow my nose on camera though. No. Yes, Katie, I know you want out. It's not warm enough yet. Give it another hour and I'll let you out. Yeah, happy Saturday. It is April 13th. Ooh, weird day off from a Friday the 13th there, huh? So, so, sorry. So I've decided here that, I feel like the Daily Trudge is getting out of its lane. Does that make sense? By coming up with some of these other topics or whatever that I think are kind of more opinionated. So I'm going to be, I mean, I love the daily reflection and I love a day at a time, but it doesn't give me everything that I need. So I'm looking for one more reflection book so that I can use it here. And I'm going to stick with readings, on this one, because it's become too inconsistent and because of that, I'm not helping as many people. People are leaving because of that, things like that. So, people are expecting a daily reflections. So that's what I'm going to start. I'm going to go back to that, and keep it nice and simple. I will find, if I need to, I'll find another arena in order to speak on. But I've got to, I want to do what's right. And that's what's right in this situation. So we've hit the 3 minute mark, which is usually where I like to do this, the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. That is my sponsor answering me. He is saying, yeah, it's a good show. So what have I been watching? Here, let's see what he says anyway. Agreed. Been watching Fallout, which is a adaptation of a video game that I played a little bit of. I didn't play that much, but some of my favorite actors are in it. So I think it's a pretty good show. But Daryl's my sponsor, and it's been, I don't know, 2, 3 weeks, and we're just kind of getting to know each other. I'm not forcing anything. I've been sick all this week, or I would have reached out to him. All right, so we're gonna go here. A false comfort is self-pity, as Bill sees at page 238. I have that book. Here it is. As Bill sees it. 238. Now my tummy hates me. Ooh, Maudlin Martyrdom, which means self-pity. Okay. It's from a letter in 1966. Thank you. A little bit of sick coffee. All right, coughing. I don't mind being sick. It's the hot, cold that drives me nuts. All right. Self pity is one of the most unhappy and consuming defects that we know. What's hard about self pity is once you're in it, gosh, it's hard to get out of it. It is. And I got to start talking in terms of me. When I am in self pity, it is very, very hard for me to get out of it. In fact, it's probably going to lead to depression first. Okay. And when I go into self pity, the reason that I do that, well, I'm hiding. Okay. This is an old skill, survival skill. Self pity is a survival skill that I used to use so that people would take pity on me so that I could feel assured to be depressed. And what does that just lead to? Well, it leads to the drink. You know, I went through a lot of self pity in the program. PTSD leads to that. Okay, because you blame everybody else and then you get upset that you blamed everybody else and then you blame yourself. Because when it comes to that, it always feels like if there isn't somebody to blame, then what are we doing with it? And when you can't use blame anymore, then what do you have left? Now, the truth. And the truth is that I'm in self pity because I'm not getting what I want. That is the only reason for me to be in self pity. You know, um, I go into self pity mostly when I don't feel like I'm being heard. I the number one thing I hate is being ignored. If you ignore me, I just not gonna. Okay. When people are, oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that. If I'm not a priority, honestly, I don't really want to hang out with you if I'm not a priority. I've already been, I've already, I've already lived a life of non-priority. I don't need that in my life anymore. I would rather have very few people in my life that find me a priority than 100 people in my life that might think of me every now and again. This is how I am. That's what I prefer. Not everybody is that way, right? But these people keep me out of my self pity. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's what we do when we get a compliment. It took me years to say thank you, and it's still hard. But that's what we do. We say thank you and we move on, right? And I do appreciate that because sometimes I wonder. um, so, self pity, well, what does it lead to? It leads to fear. Fear leads to resentment, and resentment leads to the dark side, man. It's the path. Star Wars has it correct, actually, when it comes to emotions and how you deal with your emotions. The Jedi are actually pretty understanding, right? I'm not gonna go into that. So, but it is kind of fun to mix them together. And it is a bar to all spiritual progress that can cut off all effective communication with our fellows because its inordinate demands for attention and sympathy. Nobody wants a 50-year-old sitting in front of them whining and crying about the world. They just don't. Good morning, Amber. If you make the announcement about the meeting in here, I'm going to bust you. I'm just kidding. Because I woke up and it's like, I have like 5 announcements from you from all these, and I plan on going. But yeah, I plan on going. Just to, you know, I said I'd be there when it happened, so I'm gonna be. Um, I may not say anything. I may be asleep, but I'll be there. Okay. So self pity, what does it do? Well, the first thing it does is it removes me from the sunlight of the spirit. It removes me from my higher power. Because listen to it, self. Now what am I in? Now I am determining my own worth. And there's nothing worse than Dion determining his own worth. Because I will be way off. I will be way off. And I'm either going to make myself way too low or way too high. I don't know how to judge that. If I knew how to judge that, I wouldn't need God. Okay? I wouldn't need my higher power. Right? I just got some information. I've been looking for a friend for months, man. She fucking disappeared. Now she's on news. Thank God. I begged her. I know it's not on me, but it's still, you feel that powerlessness. I feel totally powerless over this situation. And what sucks is I saw it come from a mile away. I hate my empathy sometimes. But I was talking to another person and they said, "Hey, this is our friend." And I'm like, "Wait a minute." So we got some information together and her and I were talking and if nothing else, this is just going to bring us closer together. Okay. Cause I ended up talking to this person there with a sober living and I wrote him, I said, "I know that I have a reputation for being a tough person, that I follow the rules, but this is the reason why." And she's like, "Oh, I get it." See, the thing is, I know I'm on the list. Anyway, let's get to somewhere else. It is a maudlin form of martyrdom which we can ill afford. I know those words, but not offhand. Let's just say it's bad, right? It is a maudlin form of. Let's just go ahead and look it up. We got some time, and I have my handy dandy big book dictionary right here. So most stuff I'm using right now and or wearing is from Amber. Actually, I'm not wearing my new shoes. No, I'm only wearing those for I don't want to get messed up, man. Maudlin. There's martyr. We're getting closer. Matron. Maudlin. Overly emotional. Why didn't they just say that? Showing weak and excessive emotions or sentiment. I'll tell you why, because it's proper English. They use proper English. So now that makes sense, doesn't it? Healthy cough, actually. I actually feel better. All right. So it is an overuse of emotions which form you know which uh, which makes you what, a martyr. Okay, now we're playing the martyr. What did we say the other day about don't make yourself an easy target? Okay, when we're in this, I have found this is what I have found my best bet to be when I'm in self-pity. I help another alcoholic. That's usually my answer. Okay, is help another alcoholic. Call another alcoholic. Why another alcoholic? Okay, in this case, because this person is going to understand. I'm not going to have to. The cool thing about talking with a peer who has gone through what you've gone through is you don't have to rehash. When you're in self-pity, do not do something like a gratitude list. Not that I'm against gratitude lists, I am not. But that is not the answer for me. Because if I'm in self-pity, I'm just going to use another emotion to make me feel better. That is a band-aid. It will work for the time being, but it does not give me what I need for that day to have success. Writing a list is not success. It is the process to make success happen. That's why it is important that we talk with another alcoholic when we go through these things. Because otherwise, we talk with a normie, we're going to rehash, and we're just going to live through those moments. And then what's going to happen? We're going to try and pull sympathy out of them. An alcoholic who is recovered is not going to let you get away with that. And that's what you need. You need a person that's going to say, hey, I love you, but get the fuck over yourself. We got work to do. That's what this friend and I decided. We're friends now. Why? Because I said we are. Right? Even though they own a sober living. I don't hate all sober livings. I don't. In fact, I like a lot of them. So I'm not against recovery coaching. It's just that I'm a Virgo. If it's not done the right way, then it's not worth doing. To me. And I don't think that's a Virgo trait. I think that's just something instilled with me. I think I'm only doing that, referring to it, because we seem to have a culture right now that says, sure, I'm a Virgo, and I feel like I'm hopping on that train. And I don't want to do that. So I ain't going to do that no more. No. The remedy. The remedy. This is a stranger new liaison. Okay. Sorry, Jason Mraz. The remedy. I can tell you what the remedy is. Because the remedy is love. That's always the remedy. Okay. Anyway, let's see what they have to say about it. The remedy, well, let's have a hard look at ourselves, and still a harder one at AA's 12 Steps to Recovery. When we see how many of our fellow AAs have used this step to transcend great pain and adversity, we shall be inspired to try these life-giving principles for ourselves. What they say, practice the principles. Go help another alcoholic. Go to a fucking meeting. Open your mouth. Do something that helps somebody else. Get out of you. And writing a gratitude list about you is not the answer. I'm talking about for me. Maybe it works for you. Maybe you find success in that. I need more than that. I need a little bit more than that. It sucks because I'm trying to get some help for my teeth. They're falling out of my freaking mouth, right? And now all it is, I get all these fucking ads from everywhere. And they won't leave me alone. Even this morning, they're like, you missed an appointment. I'm like, I never made a fucking appointment with you. I would never make an appointment at 10 o'clock on a Saturday. Would not happen. What are you talking about? And it's becoming confusing. So I could just imagine what it'd be like for somebody that is new in recovery and trying to figure things out in this crazy fucking world. That's why I hope they meet somebody like me or Amber or Michelle so they can understand the simplicity of the actual program. Yeah. So that they can discover, hey, you know what? I never thought of it that way. Because once a person doesn't feel lonely, once you become a hope dealer and start bringing hope into other people's lives, they will respect you automatically for this. Okay? They will put you on a freaking pedestal, which you must step down from immediately. Okay. This is the one I hate. Sir. Yes, sir. Sir. I'm like, no. They're like, okay, I was arming, so I can't help it. Then I'm like, okay, let's work on it. As long as you understand I am not better than you. As long as you understand that, then we're good. As long as you understand I do not have anything more than you have inside. I am not greater than, I am not less than. I am just Dion. And that's cool. The false comfort of self pity screens me from reality only momentarily and then demands, like a drug, that I take an even bigger dose. Ooh. Once the self pity starts for me, man, shit rolls downhill. That's a saying. Shit rolls downhill, man. Okay. That means don't let your crap roll downhill. Okay. If I'm going to stay in self pity, the least I can do is not take it out on other people. The very least I can do is not use my incessant demands to feel better because somebody else said something. Okay. But yet, it is important what people think of us. It's a balance. It's a balance. I don't have the true answer there for it. I'm finding it out myself. Okay. But when I ask myself, Dion, do you give a fuck what people think? The answer is yes. I care about my reputation. It isn't that I care. Let's maybe look at it this way. It isn't that I care what people think of me. I do care about my reputation because if people ruin my reputation, I'm unable to help as many people. And people are doing that to me. Okay. And that's why I'm removing them. Anyway, that's off topic. I'm getting better. If I succumb to this, it could lead to a relapse into drinking. Or worse, you could take it out on other people. I think that's worse than drinking. But once I start drinking, especially on self pity, oh, bring out the fuckets. Fuck it all. Okay? You remember the part of your drinking where you just wanted to watch the world burn? Maybe not everybody went through that. I did. I wanted to watch it burn. I was so unhappy. What can I do? One certain antidote is to turn my attention, however slightly at first, towards others who are genuinely less fortunate than I, preferably other alcoholics. No. I'm sorry that person is not less fortunate or more fortunate than me. I can't do that. But I do see what they're saying. I do hear what they're saying. And I can go for that. They're saying help another alcoholic. Okay. I'm not going to put these demands on myself. I'm just going to help another alcoholic. I don't care. The amount of time does not matter to me. I'm going to help somebody. If I am there and somebody needs help, I'm going to do it. Yesterday, I went to go pick up my equipment from the church. Somebody was setting up for something else. He was an old man. He was having a harder time, so I helped him finish up before I left. I didn't even wait for him to say thank you. I just left. So what? It needed to be done. It just needed to be done, period. In the same degree that I actively demonstrate my empathy with them, I will lessen my own exaggerated suffering. Now, I do really like that they put empathy in there because that's what we're going for, right? What did we just switch from? Our own sympathy into empathy. Okay. Now what happens? Now what happens? Gratitude. See, gratitude was kind of the answer. The gratitude is a dividend. I'd much rather have I'd I'd much rather have gratitude than be grateful for. That's just how I am. It's hard for me to be grateful to have a roof over my head when there's a shit ton of people that don't. See, I'm comparing myself to other people. Can't do that. I can't do that. I'm glad I got food on my plate. Not everybody does, man. It's not that I'm not grateful. It's just I feel, and when it's compared to someone else, I just don't want it. That's how I feel. I would much rather go help that person learn how to plant food, even though I suck at it myself. I grab somebody like Amber, and I'd rather help this person, you know, make their own food than continue to give them food. Teach a man to fish. Okay. I don't like anybody being dependent on me. It scares the fuck out of me. All right. It's 11:11. I love you all. Peace out. And my kitty loves you too. Good timing, dude. That was really good timing. I love you. Peace out and have a day.